I don't know why I torture myself and watch this stuff, but I'm listening to Ralph Nader on Jimmy Dore. And this tired old drunk who lied about unsafe at any speed, he spent his whole career lying, getting enriched. He speaks like he's a proletariat, one of the rabble, like he's some kind of Abe Lincoln, who was another phony. But that's another story. But when I listen to this creep, boy, I'd like to punch him right in the schnoz, and look at the schnoz you couldn't miss. He's been sniftering a lot of booze. And I listen to him talk. Now watch the point he makes, the difference between corporate socialism and government socialism. Corporate socialism, you don't have the right to throw the scoundrels out. But you could get rid of government socialists. Well, tell me where that happens once socialism becomes entrenched. Go see where we vote them out. Look at the liberal states in the United States that have been indentured to liberal communists while their cities and states fall deeper into corruption and into financial ruin. But listen to this putz.
So if you're Democratic Socialists in the Congress and the White House, you cannot throw out the big bank bosses. You cannot throw out the heads of ExxonMobil. You cannot throw out the heads of United Healthcare Insurance Company. That's one. The second is, and this is most important, I don't know why Bernie doesn't do this, Jim. When he's asked about Democratic socialism, they're going to pile the ads on TV. You say, oh, okay, I'd rather have Democratic socialism like Denmark, Norway, it had better standards of living, Sweden, Finland. But let's go back to the United States. A lot of people here love Social Security. They like Medicare. They like public libraries. They'd rather have public drinking water departments rather than some global conglomerate, And they like the Tennessee Valley Authority in redneck country. And they like 1,000 municipal electric utilities, right? And they like a lot of these things. There must be a lot of Democratic socialists in the United States. And I'm just giving you a partial.
No, scumbag, you're a liar. I would have rather had my money invested in my own retirement savings account than having it get ripped off by the government and pay me 1/10 to 1% back on my money. So don't you tout Social Security to me, you liar. And when you call people from Tennessee rednecks, understand what you're talking about. Rednecks alludes to the fact that when miners were striking against management, they wore red kerchiefs around their neck in a sign of union communist resistance to the mining corporations. So be very careful how you misuse pejoratives. That's what a redneck was. Most people think it had to do with Southern men working in the sun, right? So when you know the truth, rednecks represented the left, not the right. Here's the other salient point that Putz Boy here will not ever admit to. I don't like Amazon, so I don't use it. I don't go to Walmart. I very rarely go to Home Depot. I try to support small and local businesses. You used to say that. I don't like Bank of America. They're gangsters. So I don't use them and never will. As citizens in a capitalistic country, we have the right to determine who we deal with in business and who we don't. Okay? But you have dumbed down the society to the point, guys like you, Nader, where people don't understand the power that they have. There's no power in voting. There's very little power in voting. I'll tell you where there's power. Telling the IRS to go to hell while they cheat and pick winners and decide who's going to be they're going to be adversarial to, like Christian 501Cs under Lois Lerner and the crooks in the IRS, Mark Schulman, and the crooked FBI, right? If you see something, I ain't saying nothing. That's me now. I saw this coming 20 years ago when those arrogant cops were telling people on the streets of Manhattan on the day of 9/11, Get that camera out of here. What do you think, this is effing Disney World? And it was guys like you that touted them as heroes. Well, I know too much of the truth of what happened that day, and most of those cops weren't particular heroes. And good amount of those firemen were tending to their own enrichment and not saving lives. I know all those stories. You probably do too, but you won't allude to them. They're two-third rail. Government people unchecked are tyrannical every single time. And in a capitalist society, it's done at the agora, not in the stoa, not in the assembly halls. You stupid man. You stupid man. But you're not Greek, so what would you know about democracy? Where you come from, they were real good at fascism. So let me say it again. The people in a capitalist free society have all the power. We don't need it bequeathed unto us by some government rat like you. When there's tyranny in a company, punch the boss in the nose or resign. I've done both. The first is very cathartic. And the second one enriches your soul. You may take a hit in your pocketbook, but boy, if you got a bank account of honor, you feel pretty good about it. Most people are enslaved because they're weak and they're dumb, and those are choices. Listening to rabble like you, the guy with all the answers. Here's what I tell people, Mr. Nader. Find your own answers. Be self-reliant. Read Ralph Waldo Emerson, a great liberal from the 1800s. To believe in your heart what's the greatest truth for you is the greatest truth you can know. Is genius. Not to listen to some punk like you or some Bruce Springsteen or some stupid ass who could dribble a basketball or some football player. I'm not listening to them. Not unless it's a story of jock itch. I'm totally uninterested. And I'm uninterested in what you have to say. You've made a hell of a lot of money in a big career by being this antithetical rabble-rouser. But you don't walk the walk, pal. You never did. You're just a clanger. You're a racketeer. You're no better than all the people you put your finger against. A capitalist society and a republic, it's up to the people to take the initiative. And they do it with virtue in hand and with honor in heart. But you wouldn't understand that because you're a degenerate. I can tell by looking at your nose you got an alcoholic problem because you're a degenerate. That's where that stems from. A sick soul. And a sick soul will culminate into a sick body. And enough sick souls and sick bodies, and you have a sick, degenerate nation. And that's what guys like you have promulgated on the left. Independent thought. Individual rights. E pluribus unum didn't mean we all get together and become one monolithic person. E pluribus unum meant that 13 colonies will act in unison and in concert when need be. It had nothing to do with individuals. So stop promulgating your lies. You've been doing it for over 50 years, and you're boring. Go away, Ralph. Go to sleep. Take a Somonex. Do something beautiful. Have a cream soda.